I I do believe he makes a strong case. Terrence Bud Crawford, he's not that good. Oscar De La Hoya rips Terence Crawford following his announcement that he is now retired from the sport of boxing. In this video, we gonna go through it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I made a video about it. Terence Crawford announced his official retirement from the sport of boxing. And you've seen a lot of people giving him props, celebrating his career. But one person that didn't seem all too impressed was Oscar De La Hoya, former fighter and founder of Golden Boy. This is what he put. There was a post pretty much announcing Crawford's departure and retirement from the sport at age 38. And De La Hoya says, "What a tool," crying emoji. "I can name 4, 5, 6 fighters that compete and probably even beat him. Please." Oscar then goes on to say, "Too good fighter," he meant fighters, but "too good fighter he beat. Congratulations." And it says, De La Hoya hating on Crawford. Do you agree? I don't know. Let's see. He hating, but he is not lying. Oscar had the better career because he chased danger across more weight classes, fought legends nonstop. Man, I'm not reading on this. Okay. Can't say I disagree. The resume doesn't lie. Buddy thinks he can instigate Crawford out of retirement into a fight so he can get money from the promotion. What is he talking about? He hating, but he ain't lying. Bud would have stopped Oscar. I mean, Oscar, he wasn't really stopped except for Pacquiao, but whatever. Oscar is sniffing that white. Crawford had a better career than he did. Man, whatever. I want to see what the people are saying to that. Nah. Yes. No, he didn't, bro. Bud is a great fighter. No, nah. I love Crawford, but Oscar fought the greatest of the greatest. He is the platform. What the F are you talking for? Yeah, bro. I'm off it. I don't even care. It is what it is. Listen, congratulations to Terence Bud Crawford on his retirement. He felt it was a good stopping point. Again, my thing is this. I don't really believe and have faith in certain things in boxing. So I don't even know if he's really retired or this is a ploy, because stranger things have happened where you'll have somebody and they'll like retire and then it's very short lived. And then in September or something, Canelo want to fight him. And now he drove the price up because he created an absence. It's the oldest trick in the book, right? Oldest trick in the book. And I said that in my same video. Then after, Jake Paul was asked about Crawford retiring, and he was like, he's not retired, bro. And saying the same thing. So again, if this is truly it for Terence Crawford, God bless you. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family, and you made your name known. However, I'm not really sold, I guess you could say, that it absolutely unequivocally is the end. I mean, it's really hard to say for any fighter, right? Like, fighters, I've just seen too much in this boxing game. For example, Brandon Rios, I want to say when he got knocked out by Tim Bradley, he retired on the spot, right? He retired on the spot. He was like, dang, I'm done. I ain't got it no more. It's over for me, right? And he didn't want no parts of boxing. He was completely done with the fight game, and it was announced in that post-fight interview. You don't have to take my word for it, even though you should, because I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close, right? So Bradley fight got stopped late in the fight, like 9th, 10th round, and he was like, I'm done. It's over for me. Then he came back. A couple years later, he came back, and then he like later came back, fought Danny Garcia. The Danny Garcia fight was after Bradley. You know what I mean? So I've seen fighters do that. Bradley retired. Brandon Rios made an emotional decision on the spot, and then boom. Now, Crawford didn't lose, and he's on a high note, so kind of like the Andre Ward approach, where you end your career on a marvelous note. You know what I mean? Undefeated. You had the Canelo win. Ward had the Kovalev win. Crawford's career, I will say this. He wouldn't be ending on an emotional note. Let me finish that part. So he's not ending on an emotional note because he's ending on a high note, right? So it's not like Brandon Rios in that regard with my comparison. However, he might be trying to jog the price up. Like, if I create an absence, absence creates fondness. If I create absence, then people will start talking about me. They'll start looking back at my legacy. You know, social media will start posting my highlights and farewell video, you know, and that could create that fondness. So doing that, you know, you see what the response is. And then if the Canelo fight or whatever fight presents itself and it's money you can't refuse, you're in good shape. You haven't been battered in the ring. You know, you might come back. That's all I'm saying. You might come back. Now, as far as Crawford's career is a bit of a complex one because here's the reality of it. Crawford is a late bloomer, right? Not in terms of showing skill. He showed skill in the Bradis Prescott fight. So I'm not talking about in skill, but just in general getting the big fights. And I see what they tried to do for Crawford at the end. Like at the tail end, he started to like get bigger fights or like better fights after the top rank. But the only problem is you were in your 30s, mid 30s when you started getting those fights. That's a reality. And then like you look at the names like Canelo. I told you this before the fight. I didn't even want to see Crawford Canelo. Canelo did not look good in the Bivol fight. Then he started fighting, not rematching Bivol, right? To prove, he kept saying he beat Bivol and he knew he could beat Bivol, but he never rematched Bivol, right? And I've said all of this stuff for years. It's not like, you know, people are going to feel what, oh, you're hating or whatever. I don't really care. I'm still going to get paid the same. But Canelo never avenged Bivol. Then he went on his own path fighting whoever he want, not the person that just beat him, right? Not going back up to that weight class, not fighting like a better Biv to like redeem himself or whatever, right? And then you got to Williams School. You didn't look good in that fight. You look lazy in that fight. And then Crawford fights that version of you. That's the reality of it. And then for Errol Spence went through a car wreck and he looked to be like back, I guess you could say, with Danny Garcia and Ugas, even though he had that little mouthpiece issue with Ugas. And then Crawford beat that version of Errol Spence. So Madrimov, I would say, is the fighter that he fought that was a recent champion, was undefeated. And you look at it, the Madrimov fight was actually harder than what it appeared to be for Errol Spence and Canelo. And I think that's because of where those two fighters were in their career. So for me, it would have been nice to see Crawford fight a Jaron Boots Ennis at some point, you know, or even like the Virgil Ortizes, Fonduras, Murtazaev, because Janibek before he popped, because I think those guys were fresher than Errol and Canelo, but played out how it played out. De La Hoya. And I will say this about De La Hoya. He got an impeccable resume. When it comes to boxing, Oscar, he has the ability to talk his talk because he did fight the best. See, unlike Crawford, De La Hoya was retiring maybe a couple years before. Like Crawford's 38, De La Hoya retired 35, 36. But by 35, De La Hoya already had more names on his resume than Crawford does at 38. That is a fact, right? De La Hoya fought Mayweather, Pacquiao, Chavez twice, right? He fought the late Arturo Gatti. He fought Felix Tito Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins. I mean, the man's read Felix Sturm. I could keep going. We ain't done enough. You know what I mean? De La Hoya fought Shane Mosley twice. Fought Fernando Feroz Vargas. He fought Mayorga. Like, and when he's fighting these guys, the Mosley was unbeatable at lightweight, right? Mayorga, that was like the prime of his career, you know, where he would go on to beat Vernon the Viper Forrest and stuff like that. So that's not how Crawford's career played out, but wish him the best. Let me know what you think. Was Oscar just hating? Does Oscar have a better resume than Crawford? Drop those conversations in the comment section. Streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.